Welcome to my channel, everybody, and for those who have watched a lot of my videos, welcome back again. And I thought I'd try something different today, but it's not extremely different because I've done exercise videos in the past on the channel. Not too many, but as you know, I come from a fighting family. Those who have seen a lot of my videos and my exercise videos too, even though primarily I'm doing movie reviews on this channel now. It originally started out, for those who have just joined, those who have just subscribed, those who have just started watching. This channel originally was just for my art. That's why it's called Doorway to the Paintings. But later, my wife suggested, why don't you put an exercise video on? And on average, those started getting more views than my art video. So once in a while, I'd put exercise videos on. And I reluctantly did it. I didn't want to put any of my exercise videos on YouTube. I like to train in private, but I did it, and it got quite a few more views than most of my art videos. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. And then something in the back of my mind, I've always liked movie review YouTube channels, and then I grew up watching Siskel and Ebert, have a lot of nostalgia. Used to love that show. So I started putting movie reviews on the channel, and then they get more views than anything that I put on my channel most of the time. So I'm doing movie reviews nowadays on my channel mostly, and I'll get right back to that soon. I'll get back to movie reviews soon. But today I just wanted to let you know how to get great stamina, great cardio if you're an athlete, or even if you're not an athlete and you're starting exercising, you're starting a workout program. By the way, take it slow. Don't try to progress too quickly. It's not safe. Just little by little. Take small steps to your goal. Sometimes you push yourself too much. Bad things can happen. Could be injury, could be heart problems if you're not ready. But if you've been training for a while and you've been exercising for a while and you're making steady progress, that's probably the best way to be. I'm 47 years old, and once a month I'll do an hour workout. It's a 1 hour workout, boxing and martial arts nonstop without taking any minute breaks, just an hour straight. And I'll stop once in a while to wipe my face, maybe catch my breath if I'm going too fast, and then I'll drink some water, keep my kidneys replenished with water and all that. But it's a workout that's 1 hour long, and I'm throwing 50 to 60 strikes on average every single minute for the whole hour. Or on average, there might be a minute where I'm throwing 70 strikes, and then another minute where I'm maybe doing a couple push-ups, and then maybe a couple squats, and working on my footwork where I'm only doing 20 strikes. Or if I made a video and I'm talking and trying to explain what I'm doing, I might do 20 strikes a minute, and then another minute I might do 70 strikes. So it all averages out to about 50 to 60 strikes a minute for the whole hour. Or I do a 40-minute workout, which is about 70 to, well, probably 60, 70-ish strikes every minute for the whole 40 minutes. And if you want to see those workouts, you can click on the playlist. I'll add some videos to this video, including a playlist of my workouts. You can click on those and watch my 1 hour workouts, or the 40-minute workout. That's on there too. I'm still doing it once a month. I'm just not filming them, but I'm 47 and I'm still doing it. I'm doing it once a month. In fact, I did film two of them. One of them ran out of memory, even though I freed up space. I thought I had enough space, but it ran out of memory, so that was a disappointment. And then the other one, the focus was bad, and I didn't like the quality of the video, so I never released it. But I'm still doing it once a month. I'm 47, and how was I able to get this great stamina? And by the way, I'm not a pro fighter. I don't claim to be great at, one thing or another, but I come from a fighting family. I grew up watching videos on Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, Rocky Marciano, Jack Dempsey, Gene Tunney, Jack Johnson, Leonard, Duran, Hagler, Hearns, Chavez, De La Hoya, Foreman, Holyfield, watching all these guys fight and just mimicking them and copying them. And plus, I come from a fighting family, had a few uncles who were boxing champions and wrestling champions, and a cousin who was really into boxing and had a lot of knockouts, and bodybuilding too. So I'm not a bodybuilder, but I use strength training to supplement my cardio, functional strength training. But yeah, I come from a fighting family, so I've been training for most of my life. But I didn't really take it that serious until I was in my early 20s and started to focus, and my stamina got really, really good when I was consistent. And the way to get the truth is, like the Ringo Starr song goes, it don't come easy. It don't come easy. And that's the truth. We're all born with our gifts. I think we're born with strengths and weaknesses. We're all different, but you can develop. Not everyone's going to develop at the same level. Some people are more gifted in some areas than others, but the way I got my stamina is staying consistent, getting plenty of rest. I only do this workout once a month, but I do like 3 or 4 days a week I'll work out, but nothing compared to that 1 hour boxing and martial arts workout that I'm talking about. I'll do 3 or 4 days of strength training during the week, and then maybe do some walking and some other stuff. Skill training, I'll be doing skill boxing, martial arts training, practicing different moves and techniques. But the 1 hour workout that I'm talking about is for my cardio. And I practice some too, but it's for mostly for my cardio and conditioning. And if you want great cardio, if you want to have great stamina, be consistent. And what I did is, and you can watch my exercise videos at the end of this video. You can just click on, I'll put those videos at the end of this video. But what I did a long time ago, I just did 10 minutes straight. And then the next time I do 11 minutes. And then the next time I do 12 minutes. I did it like once or twice a week when I was younger. Once or twice a week, which might not seem like a lot to a lot of people, but I got plenty of rest, came back stronger than ever because I rested enough, and I was doing strength training in between. But I did 11 minutes and then 12 and then 13, and then built myself up to 20, and then later an hour, not at a very fast pace at all. It's kind of a slow pace, but I built myself up to an hour. And then what I did is I knocked everything back down to 20 minutes. And when I did 20 minutes, it was a fast pace. Not 10 minutes, but 20 minutes at a fast pace. So my fitness went up like 3 or 4 times as much as I used to be. I improved 3 or 4 times as much. And I was doing 20 minutes at a pretty fast pace. And I added another minute. I got to 21, and then 30, 40, 50, and then an hour. And it took me a long time to do that. It took me a couple years to get up to an hour at a fast pace, but I think it was probably more like 3 or 4 if you included the exercise and the workouts that I did before I started doing this particular method and program. So I did 10 minutes straight, not at a very fast, not really a fast pace, and then I added a minute each time until I got up to 20. And then from there, I added a minute each time. But I'll say this, you don't have to add a minute each time. In fact, there are certain times where I couldn't. There are certain times where I just didn't have it to go that extra minute. And if I did, I slowed my pace down so I can get there. And 90% of the time, I added that minute anyway, but I had to slow my pace down just to make it. But I accepted it. And I just kept adding a minute each time, most of the time. If memory serves me right, I think I did it almost every time. And I just slowed my pace down so I can get there, get to 25, get to 30 minutes. Added a minute each time, most of the time. And then eventually, and it takes years to build great stamina, not months. You can improve a lot. If you've never worked out before and then you start a exercise program, you can improve quickly. But you can't really build great stamina and elite, athletic, high elite stamina in months. You have to wait years. You have to be consistent and train for years. That's what I did. It took me years to get to this level. And when I got to an hour, I was happy. I went an hour straight without stopping, and shadow boxing or hitting the heavy bag, either way. I love the heavy bag. But shadow boxing you could do anywhere unless you have a heavy bag at home. But shadow boxing you could do anywhere. Shadow boxing is fantastic. It really is, because the way I did it was I remembered all those great fighters I'd seen fight, watching videos of the greatest fighters, remembering how they won or lost, but remembering all the things they did and all the moves. And I practiced those when I shadow boxed. I drilled, I practiced. I pretended like I was fighting all types of opponents, and I remembered how they handled it and mimicked them and copied them. So you can fight anyone when you're doing shadow boxing, and it's a great thing. So shadow boxing is a wonderful thing. It's more valuable to me than running, jumping, skipping rope, and doing the speed bag. Shadow boxing is more valuable for a fighter than those things, because you're punching, you're kicking, you're practicing your moves, you're doing it. It's not as valuable as training with a good sparring partner, and you're going light. You're not trying to give each other brain damage. No one's paying you to get brain damage. You're doing it responsibly. You're making light contact. That way you learn. That way you go through the moves, and that could be a lot better than shadow boxing if they're good. If they're good sparring partners, and you're learning, if you play and kind of mess around, you learn more because you're having fun. But shadow boxing, you can learn a lot too. You learn a lot more shadow boxing than hitting that speed bag or running or jumping rope. And those things are good. Would never tell anyone to stop doing those things. Those things are good. Reaction time, your coordination, stamina. Running is great for stamina, but if you're a boxer or a kickboxer, if you're a martial artist, shadow boxing, shadow kickboxing, or martial arts is much better than running, because there's plenty of stories of runners or basketball players or tennis players who have never really hit a heavy bag before or practiced in boxing and martial arts, and they tried it for just like 3 or 4 minutes at a fast pace, and they were exhausted, because it's just a different type of training. So if you want great stamina, great cardio, be consistent. Do shadow boxing, hit that heavy bag, and add a minute each time. The thing I love about shadow boxing is you can do a lot more movement and footwork than doing that heavy bag. But if you're moving around the bag and you're doing shadow boxing and hitting the bag at the same time, you have all the movement in the world, so you could do that too. But it is consistency. You don't miss workouts, but you get plenty of rest. And don't do it every day. You can definitely overdo it. If you do it every day, you won't recover enough to reap the benefits, because when you rest, you get more stamina from your previous workout. And if you skip that, you're not making any progress, or very, very little, or you might even take steps backwards. So what I did, I worked out, got plenty of rest, and at 47, I only do this big boxing and martial arts workout that I'm talking about once a month. You can do it more than that if you want to, but if I did it every week, my joints would start to hurt, and then it would develop into an injury, and then a worse injury. It'd get worse and worse, and then I'd miss other workouts, and then I'd miss this workout too. So I just do it once a month, but to each his own. You can go at your own pace, but this works for me. And like I said, you can click on my workouts at the end of this video. I'll put a playlist up there so you can click on it. But yeah, I just stayed consistent, and I added a minute each time. And even if I didn't feel like it, even if I felt like I was weak for that day, I just slow my pace down so I can make it to that extra minute and just accept it. I might come back stronger the next time. So I added a minute each workout till I built myself up to an hour. Then I went all the way back down to 20 minutes at a fast pace, and I added a minute each time, or most of the time it was a minute each time, until I got back up to an hour, and then I was going an hour at a fast pace. And then in the future, I knocked everything down to 30 minutes, because there was a point where I kept knocking it down to 20 minutes, and 20 minutes wasn't enough anymore. Even if I used all my speed and all my strength and I went all out for 20 minutes, I couldn't get tired in that 20 minutes anymore. So I had to go to 30, and then went 30 at a fast pace, and then added a minute until I got up to an hour again. And so anyway, you could see those workouts at the end of this video. But I hope this helped, and I hope it's good advice for everyone. And I'm getting back to those movie reviews soon. Take care, everybody. See you next time.